Hello students, how are you? Let's continue with the other questions in biology because first around 76 questions are from either cell biology or from animal kingdom, right? So now I'm going to talk about the part which we are dealing with, that is about the biological classification. That chapter, there are some questions from 77 to 89. Okay, so I'll discuss those questions now. So after that, if you have any doubts, you can even discuss in person. Okay, so let me share the question paper with you so that you will get an idea. Okay, let's go get the questions. 77th question directly is here. All the statements are correct for prokaryote cells except, means whatever statements are given here, they are all correct except what characters, right? First option given is few prokaryotic cell walls are without muramic acid. First option is saying some of the prokaryotic cells, they don't have muramic acid. Second one says there is no well-defined nucleus. Next says prokaryotes show a wide variety of shapes and functions. Last one is the organization of prokaryotic cells is fundamentally similar, right? So you can just have a guess on this, right? Instead of guessing, you think biologically what is true. See, first one is saying all grouped inside a few prokaryotic cells, cell walls are without muramic acid. So this is nothing to draw here. Just I can tell you that muramic acid is found in almost all, right? Okay. Let me take the pencil. Okay. So here, let me give you this answer. The first one is saying prokaryotic cells have the muramic acid. So muramic acid is there in all the prokaryotes. So few prokaryotic cells have no cell wall with muramic acid is a wrong state, right? There is no well-defined nucleus. It's not true because well-defined nucleus is characteristic of eukaryotes, right? So they don't have, naturally the prokaryotes, they don't have well-defined nucleus because they lack the nuclear membrane around the nucleic acids, right? Therefore, this is true. There is no well-defined nucleus is wrong because this is, they have no nuclear membrane. So they are all having false nucleus or nuclear membrane is absent. We call it the prokaryotic nucleus. See, the entire cell name itself is prokaryote. Pro is a primitive, karyon is a nucleus. They are primitive nucleus, so they have no well-defined nucleus. Is the right statement, right? All the statement. This statement is correct. Prokaryotes show a wide variety of shapes and functions. It's true because you can see prokaryotes, what all you have learned. Bacteria is there, blue-green algae is there, and bacteria types are there. There are some circular bacteria, cocci is there, bacilli is there, spirilla is there. So all of them are there. That means they have different shapes, right? So let me give you what are the shapes we get. For the second option, I'll give you some explanation. The third explanation. So the prokaryotes, I'm talking about the prokaryotes. So prokaryote, you've got to see the bacteria having this shape. I don't know whether it's connected. It is not. Okay. So prokaryotes will have what shape? They have circular shape. The circular shaped ones we call them as the cocci bacteria. I'm so sorry, I'm drawing very badly. Right? Yes. Okay. It's not right. Okay. Let me draw the proper shape. So we have first one cocci, bacilli, and spirilla. Cocci are circular in shape. Rounded ones are cocci. Okay. Bacilli are elongated. They are rod shaped. Spirili are spring-like. Okay. Then Vibrio are comma-shaped. So these are all types of bacteria. So this is the answer for the different shapes, right? Variety of shapes. And blue-green algae, you already know that they have the shape of filament. So therefore, prokaryotes show wide variety of shapes is correct. There is no well-defined nucleus is also wrong because they have that is also correct because the bacteria will have no well-defined nucleus. Suppose you observe the bacteria like this, they have get just you have got the DNA. There is no nuclear membrane. This is naked DNA. Therefore, it is a not well-defined nucleus. Last option says the organization of prokaryotic cell is fundamentally similar. So actually, they're all almost basically they're prokaryotes. They don't have the membrane bound organelle, so it is similar. Therefore, among all these, all the statements are correct for prokaryotes except the first statement, which says that few prokaryotic cell walls are without the muramic acid is a wrong statement. What is next question, 78th question? What is common about Trypanosoma, Noctiluca, Monocystis, and Giardia, right? So what are these all? First of all, you know that Trypanosoma belong to which group? It is a protozoan under Protista. Noctiluca comes under the dinoflagellates, right? Monocystis giardia, right? All of them are actually commonly found in protists, right? These are all protists. Trypanosoma has the single flagella, and trypanosoma cause what is that? Sleeping sickness, African sleeping sickness. Noctiluca, as you already know, it's a dinoflagellate. It will cause red tides, right? Monocystis and giardia also protists. So they are all protists. They have flagella. Not all of them they have flagella. Only first two. That is Trypanosoma and Noctiluca. They have flagella. They produce spores, not producing spores. They are not producing spores. These are all parasites. All of them are not parasites because Noctiluca is not a parasite. Trypanosoma is a parasite. It causes disease in humans. Therefore, among all these, the common about Trypanosoma, all these is only the first option. That is, they are all unicellular protists, right? Next is considering the following statements in this group. First one, in this group, Plasmodium differentiates and forms a fruiting bodies bearing spores at their tip. First option says that, right? That's a 79th question. Plasmodium, you know that it comes into slime molds. So this will form vegetative propagated and it will cover around few meters together. That's called plasmodium. Mycelium will spread all over, forming a big, huge group of slime molds. But during what happens is they are saying, consider these words. Okay, they're differentiated forms, fruiting birds. So they are differentiated forms of the fruiting bird bearing the spores at the tip. Right, that's the first one. Is that correct statement about the slime molds? It is correct, right? Next is the spores. So you know already Yavaga plasmodium, the word birth. So many times you confuse with the plasmodium vivax of protozoans, but it's not plasmodium vivax, it is a slime mounts. Therefore, that is the plasmodium difference. Plasmodium is the vegetative propagated thing. When the fragment, the vegetative propagation happens, it will cover a few meters of area, and wherever there is a set of the plant parts are broken down or they are dying, it will grow on them, right? And spores will come out as separate fruiting bodies, right? Second one says spores possess true cell walls. True walls is correct. They're spores. So they're all slime molds only. As we started the first one, it's a slime mold character. Second one also is a slime mold character. The spores are dispersed by air currents. Is also correct because slime mold spores are so fast they're spreading because wherever the air blows, spores taken away. The spores are extremely resistant and survive for many years, even under conditions which are adverse. Means any bad conditions, spores will survive. So, what is this answer then? First one is given euglenoids. Euglenoid never have all these characters. Euglenoids are photosynthetic, right? they have chloroplast, they will prepare their own food. So they don't have these characters. It should be B, slime moths. It's dinoflagellates, they are having two flagella, but they don't have all these characters because they are told four characters. They should follow, they should be followed. Chrysophytes is about the diatoms. Diatoms don't have this character because diatoms are the type of algae. They're called the golden algae. So among all these, the only right option is slime moths. Okay. Then comes the paramecium. Paramecium is a ciliated protozoan, right? It has a cavity that opens to outside the cell surface, shows a water current maintained by cilia, and which helps for the food to steer into gullet. So for understanding this, let me give you a diagram of a plasmodium diagram. So for this question, I'll give you just a plasmodium the paramecium diagram. So paramecium we call slipper animal cube. It will be like this. Okay. Why slipper animalcule? Because it looks like a slipper. Somewhat like this. And it has one cavity at the side. We call this as gullet. Right? And there will be a small cytopage also present here. The cytopage. This has the macronucleus, bigger one, which is somewhat shaped of a kidney shape. Right? Again, in different questions, if I get this, I can show you. One micronucleus is present. Right? Then it has contractile vacuoles over here. These are actually helping in water current or maintaining water balance. What is water balance? We call that as osmoregulation. This is the contractile vacuoles, radial canals and the central canal. Like this, you have paramecium. But paramecium main character is its cilia because it belongs to ciliata. So we have number of cilia all over the body. These are all cilia. Okay. So the cilia will be continuously vibrating and they will be pushing the food into this portion. We call this as a gullet. It can be called as temporary stomach. Okay. This is gullet. This part, we push it out also. This is called cytopage. So here the flagella are more, right? These are the large flagella. The flagella will be vibrating continuously and they're pushing the food into the gullet. This is a cilia, not flagella. They are all cilia because they belong to ciliata. This is cilia. These cilia are involved in pushing the food, right? So it belongs to ciliata, I told you. So it's a cilia. These are all cilia. They're continuously vibrating and pushing the food into this food cavity. This is the stomach. Because the stomach, temporary stomach, they push the food here, right? So therefore, second statement about the paramecium, the cavity opens to outside the cell surface. See, it's opening here. Shows a water current maintained by cilia, which helps the food to be steered into gullet. They will prepare water current and they'll push the food into the gullet, right? So therefore, all the statements are correct. Therefore, the answer should be D. Okay. So that is the 80th question. Answer is D. Okay. So I just showed you the diagram. This is a nucleus. One is the nucleus, which is macronucleus. One is micronucleus. Then coming to the 81st question, analyze the following statement and identify the correct option given below. What is this? First one says, in diatoms, the walls are embedded with silica and thus walls are indestructible, right? First option is saying that the walls are contained, they are embedded with the the silica, and they are indestructible, right? So it is correct. Why? Because walls, you must be knowing pennate diatoms and centric diatoms. I told you they are made up of thick and hard walls, right? So for the 81st question, I'll just draw a diagram over here. So that is about the diatoms. So once I show you diatoms, you will have an idea. You already know this. What is this? This is the silica. This is the silica. This is the silica. but just I want to make sure that it is the same diagram you are thinking of. So diatoms I'll write here. Okay. So diatoms normally will have two walls. Chrysophytes, they belong to Chrysophyta, right? So one wall, whatever drawing outside, this is called epitheca. Epi is outer, theca is a layer. Then another one which is present inside this is called hypotheca. Hypo is lower one, inside one. Okay. There are two walls. This is called hypotheca. Hypotheca is inner one. Okay. Then one comes outside. This we call it. This is the hypotheca. The outer one is called epitheca. This is epitheca. Okay. You already know this. Just I'm giving you background of this. Epitheca. Theca is the layer. Okay. Epitheca. So they are having number of designed structures inside. Like this, you get designs here. They are made up of silica. They are called cristae. This is silica material. The cell wall is impregnated with silica. They have a nucleus here, right? And the portion which you have girdled, this is overlapping area, right? So I'm just showing you dot structures. This is overlapping area. This we can call it as a girdle. This part from here till here, it is girdle. Okay. So this portion where it is overlapped is the girdle. So for so many other things, we may need this girdle. G-R-D-L-E. Girdle. Okay. Fine. So this wall is made up of silica. Silica, so they are not destructible. You must be knowing from them silica is also extracted. This is silica wall, right? So designer wall will be there on this and it is shining. Silica will shine and also it is a golden brown algae. Because of this, we call them as what we call, they are called the type of algae which are called jewels of plant kingdom. Why? Because they look like jewels. They shine because of the silica and they are containing golden pigmentation also. Therefore, they're called jewels of plant. So additional information you remember, such questions also can appear. Not only this expected question is not only this. So many other questions you can expect from this. Okay. So epitheca is the outer one, inner one is the hypotheca. So what is this answer? This one, diatoms, they have walls embedded with silica and thus the walls are indestructible. These are indestructible. Diatoms have left behind large amount of cell wall deposits in the habitat. This accumulation over billions of years is called diatomaceous deposition of diatomaceous earth. So this we have explained you. So under the they in every second or every minute they keep on breaking down and they die and they go to the ground of the seashore underwater. Then they deposit on the base of the sea and they form a huge earth. That's called diatomaceous earth, right? So this diatomaceous earth is actually digged out like this under sea. If you observe, so they are like this. They're deposited underwater. This is diatomaceous earth. So all these cell walls are deposited on this, right? This is called diatomaceous earth. So both the statements are correct, right? So therefore, answer should be C. One is and true are correct. Both statements are correct. 82nd question. Which one of the following organisms is scientifically incorrectly named and incorrectly described? Okay, which is incorrectly named and incorrectly described? Right? Correct right? First one, that is about the question number 82. Right? Which one of the organism? First one is saying Plasmodium falciparum, protozoan pathogen causing most serious type of malaria. Next, Trypanosoma gambiensis, a parasite of sleeping sickness. Datums, very good pollution indicators. Next is Noctiluca chrysophyte shows bioluminescence, right? So which of them is incorrectly live or described in this? 82nd question. So datums are correct. Actually, Noctiluca may is forming actually right the times. Bioluminescence. Okay. Plasmodium falciparum cause serious type of malaria. Is right. Anyway, Plasmodium vivax is a normal malaria. Falciparum is a very problematic malaria. It's a very serious disorder. Trypanosoma cause sleeping sickness. Is correct. Items are good pollution indicators. So actually, this is pollution indicators are actually your what do you call lichens. Therefore, the items are not the pollution indicators. So the question number 82 should be C answer, because the atoms are not indicating pollution, right? Therefore, answer Noctiluca is a chrysophyte that shows bioluminescence is correct, right? Therefore, answer should be the atoms are very good pollution indicators is incorrect, not correct. They are lichens. Which will you look for the sporozoites of malarian parasite? Actually, I described about malarian parasite. Malarian parasite is Plasmodium vivax. This completes its life cycle in both humans and the mosquito. Whenever mosquito containing the Plasmodium bites a healthy human being through its saliva, human's bloodstream it enters, right? But when it is entering, it will be in the stage of sporozoite. That's the exact details of Plasmodium actually. The detailed life cycle of Plasmodium is in second POC for you. But anyway, Plasmodium I explained you. Just you have to learn now what it is and understand it. So which will you look for sporozoites? ಅಂದ್ರೆ sporozoites ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ, right? ಮೊದಲೇದು RBC cells of humans suffering from malaria. RBC cells ನಲ್ಲಿ you don't get sporozoites, right? They are not called sporozoites. Therefore, it is wrong. Because in humans also it enters, it will multiply in humans. And there actually it form gametocytes. Spleen of infected humans, you don't get it. You get it in liver, right? Salivary glands of freshly mounted female Anopheles mosquito. That is freshly andre wrong. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ಲಿ ಮೌಂಟೆಡ್ ಈಗ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಸ್ಕಿಟೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Saliva of infected female Anopheles mosquito is correct. Female Anopheles mosquito ಯಾವುದು female Anopheles mosquito ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ mosquito ನಲ್ಲಿ it completes its sexual cycle. In its gut, they will come and deposit in the salivary gland. They are in the form of sporozoites. When they bite to human bloodstream, they are in sporozoite form. After that, they go to the liver. Therefore, you can look for sporozoites in infected mosquito infected in its saliva. Answer is D, right? Next is 84th question. Which of the following unicellular organism has a macro nucleus and for tropic functions and one micronucleus for reproduction? Tropic and the movements. So first ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ತರ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್? Which organism has two types of nucleus? Unicellular microorganism has two nucleus. One is tropic movement ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಡಾಡೋಕೆ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಂದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಬಂದು ಸಣ್ಣದು ಬಂದು ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿರಬಹುದು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಷಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಷಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ತರ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಷಿಯಂ. ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, ದೊಡ್ಡ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇದು. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಅಂತ, right? This is involved in tropic movement and micronucleus is chota wala, small one. This is called as the micronucleus. This micronucleus is involved in reproduction. ಇದರಿಂದ genetic information transfer ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ micronucleus is involved. It's in paramecium. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೆಶಿಯಂ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೆಶಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೆಶಿಯಂ. ಮಿಕ್ಸೋಮೈಸಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಮಿಕ್ಸೋಮೈಸಿಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತರದ್ದು ಫಂಗೈ, ಇದನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಿಕ್ಸೋಮೈಸಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ mycelia, asexual reproduction by fragmentation, sexual reproduction by fusion of gametes. 85th question. First option says they are saprophytes or parasites ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ slimy mass of multinucleate protoplasm having pseudopodia like structures for engulfing food. Reproduction is through fragmentation of zoospores. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ sexual reproduction ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ micro, they are called myxomycetes. So the B option is correct in this. So because much of myxomycetes you are not studying, you have learned only first phycomycetes, then ascomycetes, then basidiomycetes, then last one is deuteromycetes. These ನಾಲ್ಕು ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕಾ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಇದೆ, NCERT book ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. myxomycetes as detail ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, but anyway ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, so I am explaining you. So they are slimy mass of multinucleate protoplasm. ಅಂದ್ರೆ protoplasm ಸಿನೋಸೆಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಸಿನೋಸೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೈಸೀಲಿಯಂ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸಿನೋಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಮೈಸೀಲಿಯಂ, ಮಿಕ್ಸೋಮೈಸಿಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ಮೈಸೀಲಿಯಂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಸಿನೋಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಮೈಸೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಪ್ಟೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಿನೋಸೈಟಿಕ್ ಮೈಸೀಲಿಯಂ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಲೈಮಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸೂಡೋಪೋಡಿಯಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. ಇವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಸೂಡೋಪೋಡಿಯಾ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಎನ್ಗಲ್ಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್. ಎನ್ಗಲ್ಫ್ ಫುಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಸೂಡೋಪೋಡಿಯಾಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೂಡೋಪೋಡಿಯಾ ತರ ಎನ್ಗಲ್ಫಿಂಗ್ ಫುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ reproduction through fragmentation and through spores. So for this it is B option. I told you this is for the myxomycetes. Their prokaryotes is a wrong statement because any fungi is not a prokaryote. Saprophytes, parasites, mycelia, reproduction asexual and sexual ಇದೆ, ಇದು sexual ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ರಾಂಗ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ eukaryotic single celled or filamentous saprobes or autotrophic. Autotrophic ಅಂತೂ fungi ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. So everywhere you can guess work at least one ಬರ್ತದೆ. Autotrophic is a wrong thing for saprophytes or fungi. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ 4 ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೈಟ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವೈ ದ 3 ಆರ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. 86 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅರೇಂಜ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕ್ಶುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಟ್ರೈಸೋಪಸ್. ಸೆಕ್ಶುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ರೈಸೋಪಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಮೌಂಡ್. ಇಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಫೈಕೋಮೈಸಿಟ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್. ರೈಸೋಪಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯೂಕರ್, ರೈಟ್, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಫೈಕೋಮೈಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ 86 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಏನು ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬಂದು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೈಸ್ಪೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಝೈಗೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟಿ ವಾಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಝೈಗೋಸ್ಪೋರ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜರ್ಮ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್. ಹೀಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಶುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರೈಸೋಪಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣ ಹೇಗೆ. ಸೊ you may get bonus also for this, right? Next, a teacher was explaining about constant physical contact involving almost equal physiological interdependence in two different thalloid forms. He was trying to explain. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, there are two organisms, thalloid form, thallus like forms, that ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಫಿಸಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್. ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎರಡಿದೆ, ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ. ಇದು ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್, ಇದು ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎ ಬಂದು ಬಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಫಿಸಿಯಾಲಜಿಗೆ, ಬಿ ಬಂದು ಎ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಈ ತರದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ದ ಟೂ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್. So then it is a mycorrhizal association. It's wrong because mycorrhizal association is one kind of fungi associated with the roots of certain plants. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು it will help the temporary ಆಗಿ help the plant to avoid the infection of bacteria to that. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸರ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಸಮ್. ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಥೈಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಒಂದು ತರದ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಥಾಲಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಸಮ್, ಎರಡು ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ. ನೋ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಹೆಟೆರೋಥಾಲಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ತರ ಥಾಲಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ option seems to be is the advent of lichen formation, because you get in lichens the association of algae and association of fungi. So algae and fungi are together in continuous association constantly. They are together and they're interdependent on each other. ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕಾದ, ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಒಂದಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. This is found in the organisms like lichens. This we call it as symbiosis. So a teacher was talking about symbiosis. Symbiosis ಅಂದ್ರೆ each organism depend on other organism constantly. Symbiosis. Okay. Symbiotic association ಎರಡು ಒಂದೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ the 87th question is advent of lichens, where algae depends on fungi for minerals and absorption of water. Fungi depends on algae for its food, because algae prepares food. Algae is a green one, plant it is. Fungi is a saprophyte. Fungi idrinda ಊಟ ತಗೊಂತದೆ, algae idrinda minerals. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Right? Next, 88th question is yeast is not included in protozoans, but it is in fungi. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ, yeast ನಾನು protozoan ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಫಂಗೈ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. Why I put yeast under fungi, not in protozoa? ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, it has no chlorophyll is correct, but no chlorophyll is not the only thing by which I'll put it. Some fungal hyphae grow in such a way that they give, see, it has no chlorophyll in the protozoan ನಲ್ಲಿ chlorophyll ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಲೈಕ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಸ್ಲೈಮೋಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದು is because of this you are not putting it in protozoa. Protozoa also has those organisms that have no chlorophyll. Therefore, this is not a right option why we have put yeast under fungi. Right? ಹಾಗರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Some fungal hyphae grow in such a way that they give the appearance of pseudomycelium. See, ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರಿತೀನಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಂಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. These buds, one above the other, they are arranged like this. This looks like a mycelium. Mycelium look ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, as if there is a separate mycelia ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ್ದೋ this yeast, because of budding it looks like this, right? So ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. The yeast is some fungal hyphae grow in such a way that they give appearance of pseudomycelium. This looks like a mycelium, but it is a false mycelium ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಫಂಗೈ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Right? It has eukaryotic organism, correct? Eukaryotic organism, correct? But eukaryotic After Protista, on all are eukaryotes only. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋವೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ. ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪೆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಇದೆ. ಪೆಕ್ಟಿನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಂಗಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಡಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಾಂಗ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎ pseudomycelium like structure, right? So that is all about the questions which we did from my chapter, right? So anything you have, any other doubts, you can ask me, but these are to be prepared. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರದ್ದು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬಂದಿರೋವನೇ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ರಿಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಸಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಿ ಯು ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೋಡಿಯಮ್ದು ಮಲೇರಿಯನ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ ಬಂತು. that plasmodium vivax causing malaria is in second PUC human health and diseases ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. That is about the Malarian parasites life cycle. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಲಿಯೋದೇನು ರಾಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಕಲಿಲೇಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಡ್ ಯು. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಟರ್ and better day by day, and I hope you are going to get good, what do you call, opportunity to learn this, and you get nice explanation also by all of us, and you make use of this. Okay, nice, thank you. So let's meet again in the next test, right? So ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಜಗಳಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಟೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ವೈ ವಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪುಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ರಾದರ್ ದನ್ ಪುಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್. ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ you can get a meaning properly because some of the explanations, the drawings also are given, right? So hope this is useful to you, and I hope you will come up with more good and correct answers in future tests also. See you. Namaste. Bye.